Welcome to the all of you. Today's session, the sources of power dissipation. In the previous session, we discussed about the what are the importance of the low power in case of the VLSI design. So, what are the different kinds of requirements for the low power in case of the chips manufacturing as well as also handheld batteries. So, those are the all discussed in the previous session. Now, we are interested in what are the different kinds of the sources of the power dissipation. So that is discussed in this session. Now the sources of power dissipation basically two types, that is nothing but a dynamic power dissipation and second one is nothing but a static power dissipation. In case of the dynamic power dissipation means that when the circuit is in on condition, when the circuit is in used, at that time, suppose if you are applying the input value, at that time only when the input signals are changes, then only the power dissipation takes place. That kind of a power dissipation is generally called as a dynamic power dissipation. Second one is nothing but a static power condition, static power dissipation. That means that when the circuit is in, circuit produces some kind of a power dissipation when the circuit is not used. That means that the circuit is powered up. Powered up means that we are applying the supply to the corresponding circuit, but we are not changing any kind of the input values or output values. But even though the circuit also dissipates some kind of the power, that is generally called as a static power dissipation. So here dynamic power can be classified into three classification, that is nothing but a switching power, second one is nothing but static power, and third one is nothing but switching power dissipation, short circuit power dissipation, third one is the glitching power dissipation. So now so what is meant by switching power dissipation? Due to the charging and discharging of the parasitic capacitance. So here, so for the analysis point of view, here we will consider the CMOS inverter. So that is nothing but in case of the CMOS inverter, we have a two networks, that is nothing but pull down network and pull up network. Pull up network is connected to the VDD supply, pull down network is connected to the ground circuit. Obviously we are taking output across the in between the pull down and pull up circuit. So here C means that capacitor, that is also called as a load capacitance. So this is just analysis diagram. Because of CMOS is why we are considering CMOS is only the analysis point of view, because of CMOS also having some kind of advantages compared to the MOS transistor. So that's why we are considering the CMOS. So this is just a diagrammatic representation for the CMOS circuit. It is also called as CMOS inverter also. Suppose if you consider when the output is high, at that time parasitic capacitor is charged from the source through a pull-up transistor. Suppose let us consider if it is an on condition, means that this pull-up circuit is a short circuit, therefore this current is passing through the capacitor, therefore the capacitor charges to the full value, that is nothing but up to the VDD mark. So in the second consideration is nothing but, so due to the pull-up transistor is also nothing but, so whatever the either pull-up transistor or pull-up transistor or pull-down transistor, it is also having some kind of a internal resistance value. Due to the internal resistance of the pull-up resistor, that is also called as a PMOS transistor, it dissipates some kind of the energy or some kind of the power. So that's why there is a possibility of some power dissipation takes place across the pull-up network also. In the second consideration is nothing but, suppose when the output is low, at that time parasitic capacitors are discharged through the pull down transistor. So that means suppose if you are applying the one value at the time, we have pull down circuit, let us consider pull down circuit is a NMOS transistor, at that time it is an on condition, therefore the capacitor finds a short circuited path through a NMOS transistor, it dissipates at some power due to the internal resistance of the NMOS transistor. So this is the just two cases why how the power dissipation takes place in case of the dynamic power dissipation. Under the dynamic power dissipation, what is meant by switching power dissipation? So this is just switching power dissipation. So here parasitic capacitance means that the capacitance is existing in between the two networks. Due to that, there is it is also unavoidable capacitance. It is also not used any unwanted capacitance also. So that is the main thing of the switching power. If you come to the short circuited power dissipation, the short circuit power dissipation occurs due to the slow input changes. Suppose input is changes very slowly, at that time the both the transistor and the pull down network as well as pull up transistor both are in on condition. At that time the VDD supply is directly connected to the ground, therefore it is act as a short circuited path. Due to the short circuited path, both pull up and pull down transistor dissipates some kind of the power dissipation that is generally called as a short circuited power. So let us come to the analysis point. Initially the input is increasing. When the input is less than that of the threshold voltage of the NMOS transistor, that is nothing but pull down network at that time. So this one. So at that time, if the input is less than that of the V threshold voltage of the NMOS transistor, at that time the transistor is in off condition. So at that time, for zero value, initial value, this transistor is in on condition. So when the input is reaches to the VTH threshold voltage of that one, at that time threshold voltage of the threshold voltage of the NMOS transistor, at that time the corresponding transistor, both transistors are in on condition. Therefore both the transistors are on, it results to VDD is directly connected to the ground network. Therefore it dissipates some kind of the power dissipation. So even though there is no load capacitance or parasitic capacitance, the power dissipation takes place is known as a short circuit power dissipation. So VTH is the threshold voltage of the NMOS transistor, VTP is the threshold voltage of the PMOS transistor. This is the short circuit power equation, that is equal to P short circuit is equal to TSC into VDD into I peak into FSC. Here F clock means that corresponding input clock input signal or input clock frequency. So these are the permittivity epsilon mu x is equal to, that is equal to oxide layer silicon dioxide permittivity, and W is equal to width. 12 is the just L into D is the length and dimension. VDD is the power supply, VTH is the threshold voltage, TS is the time duration, FC is the clock period. TS is the rise and fall time of the TS is nothing but rise and fall time of the corresponding input signal, as well as I peak is the total current, mu is equal to mobility of the charge carriers, is the permittivity of the silicon dioxide, W is equal to width, L is equal to length, D is the thickness of the silicon dioxide. Short circuit power dissipation depends on the power supply voltage, rise and fall time of the input, and clock supply frequency apart from the physical parameter. That means the short circuit power dissipation takes place due to these parameters. It does not depends more on the physical parameters of the corresponding circuit also. So that is one of the important short circuit power dissipation. If you want to reduce the short circuit power dissipation, the transition time in the input signal is reduced. Obviously the short circuit power is also reduced. So that is a compensation technique. This is so here glitching power dissipation means that, so that is we are discussing only two kinds of topics, and the third one is nothing but glitching power dissipation. Glitching power dissipation means that in the circuit analysis point of view, any kind of the circuits, obviously we are using some kind of the gates obviously. So these gates also having some kind of the internal delays also. Due to the internal delays, there is the possibility of some intermediate states occur before the output stabilizes. So that's why there is a possibility of some power dissipation takes place in the corresponding circuit. That's why it is also called as a glitching power dissipation. So this is just a circuit diagram. Here Q1 is the output of the first circuit and Q2 is the second circuit. In between, before applying the Q1, there is a C is also applied to the Q2 transistor. Therefore that there is a possibility of some intermediate output takes place. That is also can be represented here. So that's why there is a possibility of due to this one there is some possibility of power dissipation takes place in the corresponding circuit. That is generally called as a glitching power dissipation. It is due to the finite amount of a delay. So that is so it can be compensated by using the balanced gate. That means all the inputs can be applied at a time, then this power dissipation can be avoided. So that is one of the technique. Here the dynamic power is directly proportional to the number of output transistors of a logic gate also. So glitches often occur when the paths with unequal propagation delays convert to the same point in the circuit. That means when we are applying the input to the any kind of the gates, at that time unequal delays of the corresponding paths, there is a possibility of a glitching also occur. So these are all the three important techniques where the dynamic power is possible. Dynamic power dissipation takes place. So if you have any queries, you can make a comment section, as well as please watch the remaining videos also. So thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for watching this video, and share my channel to your friends also. So thank you all. In the next coming session, we discussed about what is meant by short circuit power dissipation. Thank you.